Hello, and welcome to Mindful Connections Conversation of Dementia segment. Today, I'm thrilled to chat with Shalini Patel from St. Croix Hospice. Shalini is a dear friend and expert in hospice care. My name is Chastity Robinson Mwangi, founder of Mindful Connection, and one of our missions is to have informative conversations about navigating dementia and other healthcare resources for those dealing with various aspects of the healthcare system. Today, we're talking with Shalini about her journey through various positions in the healthcare industry and how she discovered her passion for hospice care. Shalini is currently a care transition coordinator with St. Croix Hospice and has spent nearly 14 years in various healthcare roles. She began her career as a specimen processor in a lab and then assisted project managers in clinical trials. Ultimately, seeking more hands on patient care, she became a CNA and later earned an associate's degree to become a physical therapist assistant. She eventually rose to the position of rehab director, which she held for 5 years. Join me in welcoming Shalini as we discuss the important topic of hospice care, including when to seek services and the benefits it offers. Let's jump right into our interview.
Shalini, thank you so much for being here with us today and being a part of the Mindful Connection Conversations of Dementia topic. It really means a lot to me that you would be here and do this interview.
I'm really excited to be here, Chastity. I mean, it's just an exciting opportunity, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, this is great. Well, the more I get to know you, the more fascinated I am by you. You have so much to offer, and your journey is quite a good one with all types of experiences. So, tell us how you came to hospice care and why this position means so much to you.
So, like you said, I've kind of dabbled in a lot of different things in healthcare, but I knew healthcare was kind of at my core. So, prior to this, I was a rehab director and I kind of was looking for something different to do. And hospice just kind of came. So, it was like a blessing in disguise, honestly. It was an opportunity that presented itself. And even though I'd never done anything in this role or business development before, it was just kind of an exciting thing to just kind of embark on. So, I joined St. Croix Hospice in January of 2023.
Yeah.
And so since then, I've been in this position for a little over a year and a half now. And to just be in this role has been very impactful for me just because it's changed my perception of hospice. I had this view, like many people, that you don't utilize hospice services until like the last few days or the last few weeks of life. And so to be in this role and to be able to talk to families and educate families has been honestly a true blessing.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I had a very similar journey where I thought I was going to become a doctor. So I did my CNA first, then I did a year of nursing school, believe it or not, and then decided that really wasn't my path. But in the work that I do have the fortune of working with many people, doctors, people like yourself, and talking with families that are going through a dementia diagnosis. We know the ultimate end will be death. Actually, for all of us, it will be at some point. And I think what you said is really good about knowing the journey and knowing that the end is coming. So it's best to know what your options are. And so today we are going to uncover three really important topics that we think people and families should know. And one of which is, when do you bring hospice in? Some families kind of feel like it's taboo. If you bring in hospice, they think it automatically means the end. And they feel like if you bring in hospice, they can't even focus on anything else. So today, one of our points is really about bringing hospice in earlier than later because there's so many wonderful benefits there. So could you share with us the benefit of actually bringing hospice in early?
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously, like you said, a lot of people have that misconception when it comes to hospice and utilizing it towards the end of life.
Yeah.
There was actually a recent study that said that 75% of people that had like a life limiting illness or, disease, they ended up using hospice like the less than 2 weeks or closer to the end of life. And then there were some that actually didn't get utilized services at
Oh,
all.
wow.
So there are quite a few benefits when it comes to utilizing hospice. And for one, it's fewer hospitalizations. When
Hmm.
you think about your hospice team and things like that, they become your 911 call. So when anything happens, they are the ones that you guys call,
Mm.
and they come out and, assess you and check you out. Another benefit is the medical costs. When you think
Mm.
about the going back and forth to the hospital and things like that, you have fewer medical costs when it comes to utilizing hospice early. And overall, like when you think about the holistic approach that hospice brings when it
Yeah.
comes to physical, emotional, and spiritual support, it really is a benefit for all parties, like not only the patient, but the families as well. It provides
Mm.
the family that resource and support as the patient's going through their journey, the family also is going through their own. So it gives you that additional support and that layer. And then ultimately, I feel like you allow for people to, honor someone's wishes. When
Yeah.
you think about our lives and you think about how we want to experience certain things in our lives, most people will tell you, I want to be in the comforts of my own home.
Yeah.
And so hospice kind of allows you to be able to be in the comforts of where you call home and be able to live your life there.
Yeah, that's really important because as I talk with families too, a lot of times they'll ask me if my loved one goes on hospice, do we have to move? Do we have to go to hospice house? But that is not always the case. They can comfortably pass in the comforts of their own home.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really good. So, one of the other benefits in hospice you just mentioned is for families to kind of be in the comfort of their own home and know that hospice is there for them and providing that support. So that actually kind of brings us to our second point. And our second point is hospice isn't just for the patient. And the first time I heard this, I was kind of blown away because hospice really has an extended benefit. And before I came into this industry and before I met you and some other partners, I didn't know this. But one of the things is that hospice actually provides services to the family after their loved one passed away. Can you tell us what that benefit is and what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. So grief, like I said, it can hit people so differently in different stages. Some people, the grief hits immediately. Some people, it hits a little bit later. I know for us at St. Croix Hospice, we offer bereavement counselors up to 13 months after a
Wow.
loved one passes. So again, you may not need that counselor up front. You may be a couple months down the road, but there are resources available. We have counselors available. We have chaplain and social workers as well
Mm.
that can help with providing resources, as well as our volunteers that can provide that support as well.
Wow. When I heard that, when you said 13 months
Mm-hmm.
after their loved one had passed away, I don't think many families know that.
Absolutely.
And so I'm so glad that you're highlighting that for us today. So, going to our third point, this was something that kind of resonates with me when I talk with families of multiple cultures and ethnicities, and America's a nice little melting pot. So, I have the privilege of talking with lots of families. But one of the things that a lot of families may feel, especially if they're coming from different cultures, is they have this mentality of we take care of our own. And I get that and I know what they mean, but can you tell us in your words what that means when you hear that from a hospice standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, I come from a culture where we literally just take care of our own. I mean, I grew up in a place where if someone, was ill or needed assistance, we all just rallied together and just
Yeah,
did what we had to do. I think the impact that that has, though, sometimes is we often lose sight of the fact of the caregiver burnout that's associated with it.
yeah,
So having hospice as a resource, having hospice as a help, as a support, I think is super important and is available for families to realize that, just because I'm asking for help isn't a weakness, it isn't a failure of my duties. It
right.
truly is just additional support so that you can continue to be that loved one, whether you're a wife, you're a spouse, like a sibling, just anybody. You continue to cherish those moments as that individual while someone else is caring for your loved one.
Yeah, no, that's really important. Earlier, when we were talking, you did say that bringing hospice in also allows families to just kind of have a connection with mind, body, and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to take that for granted because there is such a beautiful, holistic um, feel and approach that goes with that. And then with families, they don't realize with taking care of their own, there's so many benefits out there that they don't tap into. And there is a benefit with Medicare and some insurance companies that do allow families to be able to have those services. So it doesn't mean that they're not taking care of their own. It just means that they're going to get a little extra help in doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Shalini, thank you so much for shedding a little insight on those 3 tips. And is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers about hospice and the importance of bringing hospice in?
I think it's important for families to know the preparation is key. I know they're difficult conversations. No one wants to plan for end of life care because they are challenging conversations, but we end up planning for everything else but that. And I think the importance and the significance behind just pre-planning is so crucial. I think we end up I think back to COVID and I think about that time where everything was just so chaotic, everything was just so frantic. Had things been different if families were more prepared, had things been, different if people had things laid out. I think just having a plan, writing it out, making it plain is so important. And preferences change. I mean, just because one day I want this doesn't mean that next day I won't want something else. But at least I have something laid out in the event that something does happen in the meantime.
Yeah, and tomorrow's never promised to us, so we can be here today and gone tomorrow. So my plan today looks differently from my plan 10, 15, 50 years from now.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, that's really important for people to know. Just get a plan in place.
Absolutely.
It can change.
It can change.
It can change. Well, Shalini, thank you so much again for sharing this information with families, because this information is very impactful and I know it will help somebody out there listening. But with that being said, I would like for families to be able to reach you and know how to contact you and or St. Croix Hospice. So how are they able to reach you if they have any questions at all?
Yeah, you guys can visit our website at www.stcroixhospice.com, or you can reach out to me, email me. My email is spatel@stcroixhospice.com. Or if you want to connect professionally, please reach out to me on LinkedIn.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being a part of this conversation today. It's a really important one, and we need to spread the word. If you like this message, please follow Mindful Connection on Facebook, and also leave a comment if you would like more information, and let Shalini and myself know how to reach you or how you can reach us. Thank you. Now we have to wait for this lawnmower. Your mic is clipped on your necklace.
How is it?
There you go. Okay.
I don't really feel like I need these, but I need these for comfort.
Yeah.